Hello from Stockton-on-Tees. Once again, we've returned to the northeast of England for some more wet and wild action in the most fun-loving 10K on the calendar. This is a town which loves its sport. As well as the annual Stockton Cycling Festival, the River Rat Race attracts well over 1,000 competitors. But for those looking to improve their personal best, they may be disappointed. This is no ordinary 10K race. You need a pair of trainers, but that's where the similarities end. Throughout the 10K course, a series of tricky obstacles will take our competitors way above, upon and of course into the River Tees. Now let's head over to our commentator, Rob Walker, to take a closer look at what's in store.
Well, this 10K obstacle race with a difference finds its home in Stockton-on-Tees, historic market town in the northeast of England. One of its most famous riverside landmarks, the Infinity Bridge, forming just one of a number of memorable moments for those who managed to come and conquer the 6¼ miles. The town has a rich annual sporting tradition, most notably with the Cycling Festival, one of the events included in which is the Le Tour de Moor, 10,000 feet of climbing on a 108-mile race. And alongside the cycling is a massive regeneration programme, multi-million-pound investments coming into the town centre to improve the sporting and cultural facilities. Meanwhile, the 1,000 or so rat racers are preparing for action. Many have been a number of times before. This is a really well-established event in the heart of the town, and it's not just about running. You really do need to have a mind and a body for adventure here. The course takes in the Tees Barrage, down to the Newport Bridge, and then back across the International Whitewater Centre. There really is a little bit of everything here: kayaking, running, climbing, an assault course. And it all rounds off with an obstacle that requires more than a drop or two of confidence as the competitors prepare to walk the plank.
Those familiar with this course will know the biggest challenge is the ship jump. Before you reach the finishing line, you need to climb aboard the HM Bark Endeavour, strap on a life jacket, take a deep breath and walk the plank. For some, it's a rush of adrenaline. For others, it's facing all their fears. But for all, it's a very long way down.
Well, there's no doubt there are some fantastic costumes on display in the sunshine of Stockton this morning. Good warm-up routine there, working the guns. And some sensational dance moves. Is that from the 90s, perhaps? Classy, whatever the era.
This is such a fun event, but it's definitely more fun with a friend. Some of these competitors will be having more riverbank adventures than Mole and Rat could ever have dreamed of. We've been catching up with some of the cast of characters taking on the Tees.
Who are we?
Well, some of these squads are seriously fired up, and some brilliant charities being represented in fine style here today.
Now, Stephen, I feel like I'm wearing the wrong colour today. Why don't I get the memo on this?
The new orange is black, you know. This is it. The new black is orange, isn't it?
Are you guys friends? Is there family in here?
I've got family, friends, people I don't know, but the friends today.
They've turned up.
Just turned up, yeah, a bit of fun.
How did you guys meet?
At boot camp in Tynemouth, where we all train together.
So you're all fit and ready for this race then?
No.
Well, the 1,000 competitors will be spread across 8 waves that will take up the entire day here in Stockton. And with every single muscle group being used in this multi-terrain obstacle course, the warm-up is absolutely essential.
Wave 1 is about to start, and as ever, this is where the real racing rats can be found. Let's join our commentary as they prepare to get underway.
Well, on the start line for the first wave of the Stockton Rat Race 2014, and on the far right in the blue vest, the defending champion, Jack Page.
It's quite hot weather, but I'm looking forward to getting in the water, maybe cool down a bit. I think the course has changed slightly, so I'll just have to see what the new obstacles are like, but yeah, fingers crossed.
One man who could challenge is Matthew Hurst, an experienced competitor who was third behind Jack Page in last year's opening wave.
Secretly training, keeping off the fish and chips and all the good stuff, and then yeah, hopefully I'll be on the toes anyway this year.
So too Merlin Duff, looking to get in the mix among the leaders here in this opening wave. The last few seconds count down, the race just about to start. Oh, possibly a little bit of a false start there. One or two very eager to get going. Batman started quickly, and look at that, brushing him aside as they go under the first obstacle. Roger Davis has started like the proverbial bat out of hell. As the rest of the competitors in the opening wave get into stride, those at the front are already contemplating the second obstacle. For the likes of Hurst and the rest, the Infinity Bridge is drawing ever closer. And it is Matthew Hurst in the lead at the moment. Davis is in second place, just out of shot at the moment. And Jack Page, the defending champion, now moving up into second place. And these tests are a lot more difficult than they may first appear. Real energy-sapping climbs, those. My word, Hurst has gone for the balancing act and he's got it wrong. Well, that might have been a little bit painful. And as he slipped up, it's allowed the defending champion to take the early lead here. Such a brilliant performance 12 months ago to take his inaugural Stockton Rat Race title. And it's Page who leads from Hurst in second. Davis, who started like lightning, is in third. And one or two taking a slightly more leisurely route here. But there's no easy passage on some of these obstacles. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Infinity Bridge, Page leads, Hurst in second place. Davis along with Merlin Duff in a battle for third at the moment. A great spirit, well, early celebration there for some. Let's hope he's still got that energy towards the finish line. This is the aerial view of the Infinity Bridge, so called because it resembles the symbol infinity when you can see the reflection in the water. No time for pausing for thought for those at the front, though. It's still Hurst from Page, Duff's in third, and there's Roger Davis struggling a little bit in fourth place at the moment. They're coming up to the next obstacle, both taking a slightly different line, crisscrossing each other there. Hurst in the black, Page in the blue singlet as Davis comes up to the assault course. The other three are already up to the second cargo netting, and it's Page who's emerged as the new leader. Duff has momentarily closed the gap on Matthew Hurst, who now needs to concentrate and maintain his momentum here. This is why it's so much more complicated than just a straight running race. All these interruptions to rhythm, use of different muscles, and as soon as they've got off the obstacle, they need to find their form once again. Fabulous weather and a great setting here. A really good team ethic, getting themselves up, over and around this course. No problem at all with a helping hand for those who need it. Diving for the try line almost there. Well, for those at the front, it's time to contemplate their first dip in the River Tees. It's the barrage dunking. Matthew Hurst is in the lead. Jack Page in second. Duff still there. No sign of Roger Davis yet. He's probably still in fourth place, out of shot. Straight in from Matthew Hurst. We have been reliably informed it is fairly chilly, the water. But that won't be a problem for Matthew Hurst. He travels the length and breadth of the country looking for these kind of adventure and obstacle races. And this must be among the most unique in which he has ever taken part. Well, he certainly looked fairly comfortable with his first dip in the river. And perhaps that's the kind of obstacle that will help him create the advantage he needs over the defending champion Jack Page. Hurst, a little wave for the camera. He's off and up into his running once again. This is the Tees barrage. Well, they're not all going for the big dives here. Some are entering the water a little more tentatively. Well, they'll certainly need to find their courage for some bigger drops to come later in the race.
How was that?
Cold! I'm wet.
So under the barrage for those in the middle of the pack. Meanwhile, it was very much a case of over the first large vertical lift bridge in Britain for those hoping to come away with the Stockton Rat Race title for 2014. You can see the bridge in the background, and Matthew Hurst is creating a useful gap here over the defending champion Jack Page. He started to pull away with his first dip in the river, and it's all looking good at the moment. And not just at the front either. Everybody very much enjoying every element of this 10K course.
How's it going?
Hard. Too hard.
Well, some high spirits for those about to traverse the Tees Newport Bridge. Wonderful piece of engineering. It was built by the same company who produced the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And in its pomp, it took 12 men working round the clock to lift the bridge when it was fully operational. So from one of the most historical landmarks to a state-of-the-art brand new facility, our leader, Matthew Hurst, finds himself at the International White Water Course. And as ever here, he has a challenge of a rather different nature. The rapids here, named Happy Eater, Cruncher and Valentine's, normally involve highly skilled kayakers going down, but our competitors here in the rat race have to go up the rapids by a combination of treading water, wading or swimming for some. Jack Page slipping on his life jacket, and he's slipping further behind here. Hurst is the man who thrives with these kind of challenges, and in just a moment's time he will see Page to his left-hand side, and it will underline the extent of his lead. There's Hurst on the right, Page on the left. There was a little glance across from the defending champion, who knows he's got to produce something very special here to begin closing the gap. Jack Page going for the wading technique rather than the swimming. He's got it all to do here in the sunshine of Stockton.
Well, the River Rat Race is well and truly underway, and the HM Bark Endeavour is about to be transformed into an arena of fear. Just don't look down. If I can do it, then so can they. Welcome back to the River Rat Race. Over 1,000 competitors are storming Stockton-on-Tees, dashing, splashing, leaping and jumping their way to the finish line. For a couple of these competitors, it's going to take them over a couple of hours, but for the leaders, it'll be a lot quicker than that.
It certainly will be. This is a course with many a test. And could this be the stage at which Matthew Hurst begins to get reeled in by last year's winner, Jack Page? There is Page. Most of this course involves running, jumping and climbing, but kayaking is a very specific skill, and it's one that Page used to great effect 12 months ago when he stormed away to the title. Going really well there in the distance, Page. Wonderful technique. Hurst finished third in the opening wave 12 months ago, behind the man he's currently leading. And he's one stage closer to a big victory here in Stockton. As we take an aerial view there of the International Whitewater Centre. It's pretty icy, this water, certainly providing more than a moment or two to remember and contemplate for the competitors who still have a fair distance to go before picking up their well-deserved finishers' medals of this year's Stockton River Rat Race. Well, it's not quite the talcum powder some would have been expecting after drying off from their exploits in the river, but there's one final dip to come, and it's a dip that Matthew Hurst is going to reach first in this year's race. Good appreciation there from the crowd. Remember, he was third in the opening wave last year, and he will shortly take a leap of faith that he hopes will see him become the champion. He's about to board a replica of HM Bark Endeavour, sailed by one of the Royal Navy's most celebrated explorers, Captain James Cook, born and bred in this area. What a piece of history, and what a moment this is for Matthew Hurst, and he's going for the big reverse somersault. Such confidence and panache off the HM Bark Endeavour. I'm not sure everyone who's going to walk the plank will be doing so with a somersault, but he's got the job done, and he's now swimming to the bank as quickly as possible as last year's winner Jack Page goes for a more no-nonsense entry to the water. Perhaps a man realising that he may have to relinquish his title this year. Further back down the course, there are some equally willing and perhaps not quite as skillful competitors still taking a soaking.
I don't want to jump in.
No points for style, it's just about getting the job done.
I'm just going to belly flop it. That's it. How was that? Horrible.
Well, this is the run into the finish that Matthew Hurst was envisaging before the race began this morning. He got on the podium in the first wave last year, but he'll be standing right on top this time round. One final charge, barely needs the rope, and he can finish all at a canter. He is the Stockton River Rat Race champion for 2014.
We were fast, I just had to stay ahead of him and knock the stuffing out of myself doing a backflip off the boat. Try to showboat a little bit. Well, you've got to have a bit of fun while doing it, hey, otherwise it just takes the fun away from it. So, but it was brilliant today.
And a brilliant effort from last year's winner, Jack Page. Not to be top spot this time, but a wonderful effort to stay on terms with Matthew Hurst. No disgrace in silver for him this year.
Swimming took it out of me. It's quite, it looks warm, but it's quite cold. It's a bit of a shock jumping in and trying to catch me up, but yeah, it was a good race, yeah.
So a first and a second in successive years for Jack Page in the men's race. Double victory for the defending champion Nicola Kent in the women's race. Another great victory here in Stockton for her. Meanwhile, back at this fabulous slice of local history, the drop still awaits them all.
I'm not looking forward to it. It's probably the worst bit I think it's going to be of it. But, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. You got to.
What are your thoughts about going over there?
Yeah, up for it, yeah. Looking forward to it. Well, I am.
Walking the plank has terrified many for centuries.
How are you feeling? Nerve-wracking being up here?
No, it's easy, just like falling off a boat.
A quick entry coupled with nerves of steel seems to be getting the job done for most.
What's the big fear? Are you a little bit scared of heights? Is it the water?
Heights thing. It's the heights thing, but I need to man up and do it.
The longer the contemplation, the greater the fear grows.
I don't like water. Hate water.
You scared?
No, be all right. Be man about it.
Good luck with it. You're scared of it.
Oh, really? I'm going to squeal like a girl.
Well, 20 feet may not look much on TV, but that is a long, long way down.
What was it like?
It's really good. I was terrified and I screamed like a girl. But I done it.
Terrifying. No, never again.
Oh, I might die. I'm alive. That was awesome.
Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant.
I did it!
Well, there's no doubt walking the plank is one of the highlights of this course, but getting to the finish line is even better. Whether it's a solo effort or part of a team, a wonderful way to round off a day these competitors will never forget.
That killed me. Every little bit of me.
But you managed it.
Enjoyed every minute, it's great.
Wow. It was great, but wow. I'm knackered.
It was just torturous, but really good fun. Like nothing I've ever done before. Absolutely exhausting.
How did Mum do? She looked pretty good coming out there.
She looks soaking.
She does look a bit soaking. I think that's because of that giant river that she jumped in. Would you do it?
No, I won't.
Well, they might change their minds when they're old enough to enter. Oh, so close and yet so far.
We're around people just saying keep going, so yeah, really, really good. Stockton's brilliant for just people, so yeah, really, really good.
Well, today's winner, Matthew Hurst, may have made this course look easy, but you can see here it takes absolutely everything you've got to finish this race.
Well, they'll be going over this slippery slope for some time yet. There's still quite a few well-deserved medals to be collected. What a day it's been here in Stockton-on-Tees. Congratulations to everyone who took on the tees and came up smiling. See you next year.